Dragon actually did that when we went to 9 maps, I think, and then we all just ignored him and didn't use it, but... Yeah, cool idea. Do you think it'd be good for the game?
No, it would be fantastic for the game.
Mm.
I used the crap overlay. I forgot to change it.
Bro, that's like amateur hour. Why do you go back?
It looks so bad. It reminds me of like Husky videos, you know?
Why do you go back? Is it because of resume and replay or something?
Yeah, resume replay. When I practice my build orders, then I always use resume.
It's difficult being a player, man. Like, trying to use all these features and get better. Then you still lose and end up casting, and your casting tab's wrong.
The people in my chat, by the way, are complaining about having more than 9 maps because they can't learn them. But I think that's the beauty as well, isn't it?
I mean,
is that it's more random.
It would probably spice up tournaments a bit, no?
It would.
Well, we have.
I mean, you could also just do more maps just for tournaments.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Blizzard is physically capable of adding more maps into the map pool anyway.
So we also have a TLMC soon.
Yeah.
So when TLMC shows up, I will probably take some TLMC maps and extend the map pool. I'll just take some.
You add them in?
Yeah, I'll probably just
Neon Violet and Kingscough.
The problem is I don't want to remove them because many players told me they want to practice the official maps.
Oh, so you just add on top of the existing base.
I'd probably go up to like 11.
How about you go up to 13 as a compromise between us?
13.
Yeah.
I mean, I could. I quite like, you know, OSC Championship they have like extended map pool, and like we saw so little King's Cove and so little Neon Violet Square. It was so nice. I mean, we did see a lot of Romanticide Gresvan instead, but like, I don't know. I'm already bored of this map. It's been like 2 months.
Yeah, so, I don't like Neon Violet.
Yeah, this map sucks. It makes it into so many series.
Yeah, I don't know why. I make it one of my pride points in life is that I veto it despite it being good for Protoss.
I'm proud of you, bro.
I'm an entertaining player, Wardy, not a winning player.
Living and dying by that by that idea.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you want to knock, by the way, so we can collaborate on Twitch or no?
Yeah, do you want me to knock at you, or do you want to knock on
me? I don't know how the knocking works.
Oh, okay, I'll knock on you.
Okay.
Collaborate on Twitch. I knocked. I have knocked.
Okay, let's see if it showed up.
Do you want me to merge our chats?
Collaborate. Yeah, merge.
Okay, I can do that once you join. Sick.
Okay, we're back. Nice. This was a double gas opener out of Zoun. I've seen some Koreans play this. Actually, I think I've just seen Zoun play this. Who is a Korean, so theoretically correct. What was I gonna say? Ah, yeah, he goes basically Sentry, Stalker, and then he goes either Twilight or Stargate. But it's really hard to scout, and he gets full info. So if he sees Mine Drop, he'll like save up 2 Phoenixes, and you're in trouble as the Terran player.
Yeah, I was casting Zoun the other day. I was like, Zoun's like to me one of the few players who reliably plays Stargate. I feel like a lot of pros players aren't Stargate guys right now. It's very Twilight Council heavy. But maybe it's because of this style where you can kind of go into it and kind of play it different and make it difficult for the Terran to see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just good, to be honest. I've seen ByuN play against this before, and I remember he lost his Mine Drop and then he left the game. Oh yeah, was that when ByuN just tilted out of like an entire series?
I think he might have like legit tilted out of an entire series at that point, yeah.
Yeah. ByuN's had some rough series of it. This is going to be not one of his greatest moments as he dives into Phoenix. He's just going to try, but I mean, obviously the Phoenix can lift these Widow Mines as well. We do get one burrow. It's actually going to hit a Phoenix that splashes for 3 workers, which
3 kills.
Is honestly good considering it's a Phoenix opener. I mean, you take that as ByuN.
Yeah, I mean, you're clutching. You're holding on to that until the end of time. That should not happen. Well, a sloppy play out of Zoun, really. 3 workers there. Surreal. Yeah. There's a 3rd CC on position for ByuN. I think the back base is a bait, by the way.
All the time?
90% of the time we see it, I think it's bad. Yeah.
Having like half minerals is just bad.
Dude, it's so bad. That's like
Yeah.
400 minerals
like-
a minute, yeah?
And like, what do you even need to, like, you don't even need 2 gases there when you have half minerals, you know, like.
Yeah, it's just bad.
I think it's the worst kind of base. And to be fair, Neon Violet was one of the first maps that kind of did different bases that weren't just completely outrageous, right? So it's just from a different era. Nowadays, you would never really see this.
Yeah. No, I think it's insane. I really think it's insane. Like, there's some builds in which you can kind of hide and get away with it faster. So in PvP, we sometimes see it, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, that's okay. But majority of the time, I think when people build it, they feel like they're getting away with something, but in reality, it's just bad. This is good Raven harass, by the way. The fact that he gets 3 kills with a mine drop, and then, oh my, killed a
Kills
Phoenix.
Phoenix as well. Raven lives for a few more moments. That's annoying because now, okay, I guess he's got another Phoenix spawning here anyway, but so much mine time lost. Like, this is harassment that's never meant to happen against Phoenix. One of the benefits of playing Phoenix is that you should take no early game damage, right? So that's just kind of going backwards on the expectation here already, so it's been a great start for ByuN.
Oh, what is Zoun doing?
Second
What the hell is this, Wardy?
Yeah. The Max Phoenix Colossus when you're behind, I don't love.
Is he behind, though?
I'd say losing 7 workers when you're playing Phoenix is pretty bad. And he's lost multiple Phoenix too.
I can't see because I have the crap overlay, but I'll
He's
trust
lost
your
he's lost 2 Phoenix and 7 workers this game.
2 Phoenix ever. Okay, but ByuN has the back base. Like, look, right now it's saturated. He's like, oh, I'm so happy. Oh, never mind. It's just better to oversaturate your main base in this case, you know? It's practically the same extra income. It's like surreal. God, the base is so bad. I just don't understand it. Look at that turret as well. It's blocking like half a mineral patch in there. Seeing this base just makes me angry. It's okay as a fort base because it's super safe. And as a fort base, a lot of the time you just care about the gas. You know, if you're playing like PvZ, for example, it's like, oh, nice, extra free gas. Don't have to worry about defending multiple locations. But as a third base, dude, you need the minerals. So I'm not loving it. I actually think Zoun is in a fine position as a result.
Well, ByuN is going to try and get to his Ghost Academy and Armory so he can get further tech online, upgrades, get into the Ghost straight away. He's going without Vikings at the moment. I mean, against this amount of Phoenix Colossus, surely you want to get... Like, do you need Vikings, or is this like... Is it actually okay to just, like, spam EMP and try and overwhelm because he's going so Phoenix heavy?
I think spamming EMP and overwhelming would be a play that I would like to see. As in, I don't think it will work. Like, this could work if you're playing like 8 racks and you have the ability, like if you're playing on Frostline, for example, you know?
Yeah.
There's going to be the ability for you to multitask a little bit. But on this map, like the only path of attack is up like a 2 force field ramp or into the third base, which has an okay angle, but you have a good way to kind of walk behind the Nexus as well. So I would not recommend just going with pure Marine Marauder Ghost. Because you can also always just come from one side. Dropping in the main is idiotic because the Phoenix count is too high. We now have a fleet beacon on the way. There's no +1 on anything, by the way. Not even on the Phoenix, which is kind of shocking. I think if you go higher than 7 Phoenixes, getting +1 is very valuable.
Well, there you go. He's going to start it up. Here's you through the void. As Zoun evens the game out by taking his own corner base. And he's going to go straight at carriers. In this case, we definitely just need to start out in starports, get Vikings up. And ByuN is the kind of player who likes to just play, like, nowadays, a lot of slower games where you just build into, like, you know, he will not stray away from the idea of, like, just building a larger, techier army and playing later in the game. I think that's where we're going to be. Like, he's the guy that I feel like used to always go diving into positions like this and then lose everything and leave, but I think he's kind of matured a little bit, at least, and he's going to start getting those Vikings ready.
First he gets 85 workers, 3-3 upgrades, and then he dives in and leaves.
Yeah, he still has that to it, but like at least he's like he can refrain for a little while. You know, give him another couple of years, and he'll be a true late game monster. Progress.
A late game god with tier 1 units. He's cool. He's cool like that. He's going for 8 racks. You know what I don't mind is if you treat this like it's mech. Like if you're ByuN here, because there's not going to be any zealot run-bys. So what you can do is just like really rapidly expand. So you just take like 2 extra CCs at this moment. You add like second armory as well, ship weapon upgrades, and you go for a pure bio army, no air. And whenever your opponent moves out, you go for a base trade, basically. And you're just building up your infrastructure, You're getting like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starports, 8, 9 orbital commands or something spread across the map. If the toss goes, you go kill his bases, basically. That's the plan. I don't love this attack into this position, if I'm being real. I'm not loving this.
Yep. No, it's pretty rough right here as we try and attack through. Simulator goes down. That pylon. I'm terrified ByuN's going to ascend it as we'll force to sit back there as well. More carriers are coming out. So far we've kind of knocked a few interceptors down. He's actually going to end up getting his base though, so we are going to grab that, and ByuN can just step away from this now and continue to build Vikings. Right? Yeah,
we would step away here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, actually, this was almost perfect. I don't think this could have gone better. I'm still afraid of like running away at this point, but his upgrades are so good. 2-2 versus 0. Like these Colossus are not even killing Marines anymore at this point. That worked relatively well. What we need for ByuN at this point is a higher starport count. He's already, I think this is his 3rd that just finished up. Probably want to, keep building. He's doing this perfectly. Whenever the factory finishes a reactor, he just starts a new starport. I really do like that. Fighting in the middle of the map could be okay as long as you're kiting these interceptors away. You're not really trading out units. Do have to be careful though, because the only way that Zoun is going to win is if he gets on top of your production. So you should never allow the Protoss to get on top of your production, which is why I love base trades personally and why I love army splits for a very long time. Because if you can army split and you can base trade, you're always going to win the base trade against the carrier player. Because Bio just kills stuff so freaking fast. You can spread out your production over different bases. You can always sneak out some Vikings. Right now, like ByuN is in this really awkward situation where he'll have to fight at some point. And the moment he fights and he loses the game. So he's just going to have a single fight.
Well, we are going to have Zoun obviously pressing right on up here. ByuN trying to get missile turrets down, trying to defend this central area. As we will see Zoun at the moment, at least backing away. It's a lot of Vikings already, and they can start chipping away from afar. They get a Phoenix here as they get into reach, and that's the issue for Zoun, who trying to retreat with carriers is not exactly fun either. He's going to have to turn, and very nearly losing the carry here already. 2 of them are very low. EMP some of the Phoenix. I mean, obviously ByuN wants to chase, but then he also needs to back it up when necessary, and that's a good turnaround from Zoun because it saved him from losing carriers.
ByuN played this very well. I'm surprised how patient he was defensively there. I really thought he was going to send it a bit earlier, but he stayed patient. He's adding in more and more command centers at this point. His work count is at 77. Zoun's work count is at 85, by the way. And Zoun right now needs to start adding stuff. And when I talk about stuff, I mainly mean Storm. We're going to need some Templar here in the mix, because without Storm, you're just not going to be capable of winning. He's morphed into Templar, but we haven't seen the upgrade start quite yet. I think a Mothership could be a useful unit to have as well. Time Warp, as well as Invisibility. Just forcing out those scans. The ability to recall is always going to be a big thing. Like in the past, we've seen just recalls into the base. One of the hardest things when you're playing mass carrier is to get the interceptors out. And if you enter someone's main base, your interceptors will be out when the fight starts. And that's a very big deal.
Mm-hmm. Just clean up a Zealot around that right side. And we just take a moment. This is Neon Violet Square at its best. Macro Hub. It's a huge map, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not small. How many bases are there per person? Like 9?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough fingers to count that high, mate.
9.
9. Yeah, but one of them basically doesn't count as he said, so 8.5.
True. 8.5. I like it. You're gonna get a double drop now heading towards the far right. Oh, he's just gonna use it to deal with the Zealot runway. How did he spot that? Must have seen it earlier. Still adding in 5 more CCs. I think losing a couple of SCVs is really not that bad right now. I actually kind of like losing SCVs at this point. Because either it's going to be hard for you to split armies. So right now we're just building the ultimate army. And it's just going to be about basically one fight and maybe 1 or 2 rounds of reproduction afterwards. Who do you think should win in an absolute late game scenario?
I think it's very... Like, the Protoss air army is very good, but I actually think it's very scary to fight a Terran who has a good amount of libs and a good amount of Vikings. And I feel like the longer this goes as well, those Phoenix to me, provide less and less value. I feel like they're just going to keep on melting. It might like absorb a bit of damage, but even that, as we get to higher number counts, is just going to be kind of inconsequential. So right now, I kind of really like ByuN's army. I think I'd like Zoun's army a lot better if he started to get like a Storm or so to accompany this. Like a little bit of support from the ground can do a lot, and there is Storm right now, so...
Yeah, I think Storm Tempest is like a big deal to add into the mix, to be honest. Okay, here we go. A little bit of an engagement into turrets is always going to be scary, as Advanced Ballistics isn't quite done yet. Ship Weapons level 2 has finished, so has Vehicle Plating level 1, so we're getting those air upgrades. As, ooh, he's actually moving away from his turret ring. That is scary. Lots and lots of Phoenixes are going down. Interceptors are falling quite rapidly as well. We're down to 48. One of those carriers might just get sniped here. To control the Vikings has been very good so far. Liberators coming in to clear more interceptors. Look at that, 20 interceptors left over right now. I think you might just be capable of sending it here.
Yeah, I mean, just this is a problem, right? Where it's just if you don't have any interceptors, the carriers are dead weight. The Phoenix are doing very limited amounts as well. EMP is still coming down. ByuN's going to be kind of cautious, though. He doesn't want to go chasing into this too quickly. As, I feel like you should always try and keep these Vikings in range, though. I feel like those Vikings can do a lot still. I don't think there's a great response to the Vikings.
Yeah, there's so little interceptors right now. Ooh, disruptors all being
okay,
taken
now
out.
you die. No?
Right?
Yeah,
No?
I thought so. I thought so. To me, that's the moment where ByuN goes for it. He kills the disruptors. He's like, let's go. But he's going to be a little bit cautious still. High Templar on the left side is going to start showing up. These Vikings, like I said, there's really not much to answer them, so they are going to do a lot. 8 new Vikings building as well. Like, this army from Zoun needs to figure out a way to get away. That's the first Storm coming through right there, but there's the only Storm available currently. There's no other High Templars nearby. And as long as there's no other High Templars nearby, I think we once again just see ByuN chasing this army down.
Yeah, it's so funny because when you look at like the supply and the other stuff, it looks quite good for Zoun. But when you look at the army, like Zoun just doesn't have much of an army left. Now he's going to be losing all of his carriers. Colossus most likely will fall as well. Vikings absolutely rip these guys to shreds. At the same time, Zealots are going to clear a couple of workers. I don't really care about it because right now we're at 13 orbital commands. And every SCV that dies is an SCV that is not taking up supply for units that matter. I'm actually surprised to see more SCVs being produced. I think this is a mistake. I think you want less SCVs, like 40, 50 SCVs max. You're just pumping mules down onto those minerals, and you're going to get like an insane army consisting of like maybe 10, 12 Ghosts, 20 freaking Vikings, a bunch of Libs. I just don't really think there's an answer out of Zoun for that right now.
EMP going down, High Templars getting caught, Stalkers, Archons. Let's continue note, the Buyer pushing through, as we are going to be seeing the Disruptor shot firing underneath. Another Disruptor shot tries to land, doesn't quite make it. This Disruptor going to get cancelled as well. There's just not enough units here. We do have some High Templars showing up. I think there's one Storm maybe available there. There's a bunch of Tempests showing up. That's the one Storm. ByuN's going to try and start moving through onto the Tempest, but the Archons and Stalkers will get rid of most of the Vikings, and this was probably a bit too much of a push. After things were looking good, sure, but yeah, I think we went a bit too far there.
I think the Ghost count was just a little bit too low in that case. Where I think he went in with like 3-4 Ghosts total. I think if you have like just like 4 extra Ghosts there, it's going to be these Archons are completely useless, basically. Ooh, Purification Elf is going to kill one of them Ghosts. You have a Liberator being sent out for harassment right now. 8 more Vikings on the way. I think something that ByuN really needs to be careful about is not overbuilding Vikings at this point. Like, he's honestly kind of lucky that there's another carrier on the way. But if all you're fighting against is 4 Tempest, and you're building, what, 18 Vikings? Like, that's not a good supply trade for you, especially if there's, like, Corruptor Storm on the ground as well. I freaking hate what army Zoun is building, though. So many Archons, Wardy.
Yeah. I mean, that's just going to melt. 13 Ghosts on the map. Like, that's just not an army that sticks around for very long. We're going to lose both the Disruptors on the right side of that, of course. A couple of Disruptors on the left will connect, but that's going to be it, right? So now you just got to run, because if you turn anything around, you know, it's Archons. And then they get EMP. The Vikings are going to find the corner cut to try and capture those Tempests as well. And yeah, ByuN is going to be able to continue chasing this. He's obviously going to have to run around the corner himself, but he gets so much value already. And he's even just going to turn around. He's going to let this retreat happen and maybe even just open these rocks and start attacking through. Like, Zoun, do you think there's ever a point here where Zoun gets to a better army now? Because I feel like it's just too far gone. Like, ByuN is quite clearly on the army he wants to be at, whereas Zoun is just having to keep rebuilding, and that's very painful and very difficult to do at this point. 3 more Disruptors dropping. I just don't think you can replace what's been lost.
Yeah, being held together by Zealot and Archon Warpins, and those guys don't really hold up well once there's more than 2 ghosts out. So ByuN is just gonna walk in here, EMPs everything, lands the Vikings, which is a good call. There's no air units remaining. I think just the Vikings by themselves are quite a threat already. Ghost in the back are numerous as well. Disruptor's not quite going to connect. Zoun is trying to close in on this army, but I just don't think there's quite enough stuff over here. Ghost will survive. Zealot Warpin is good. Maybe ByuN needs to pick up from out of here, or can he hold? No way, right?
There's no way he can hold. He needs to get out, and he's going to lose pretty much everything in escaping. Well, he loses everything. The difference being he has a 4k, 2k bank, and he's playing an army composition that's much more easily replaced than what Zoun plays with. At this point, he just needs numbers, right? So bio units coming through, etc. He does have to take a moment to replace medevacs as well. And Zoun will bounce back onto a base. I just still don't see Zoun ever getting back to an army that keeps you alive for long enough in a game like this one.
Yeah, I don't really see it either. The thing here on top of that, Wardy, is that if we're looking at the resources lost, it's just like that is where the difference is in bank, right? It's not like Zoun was being outmined by by crazy amount. Yes, he's been outmined a little bit, and ByuN spent a lot of cash into those extra orbitals. But like the fights, they just haven't been good enough here for Zoun so far. And a lot of it has to do with that he just keeps trying to kind of keep it together with freaking Zealot and Archon Warpins. We need a real army. Like, Disruptor counts have never been good. Storm counts have never been okay at the start of a fight. Like, we're just throwing a lot of Zealots at the problem, and Zealots are not great at fixing this particular problem.
Nope. As our Nexus goes down, probes pulling over to try and get to that top side. But yeah, ByuN is just rebuilt as well. Again, just having the money already banked allows him to do this. He's, again, playing an army that can be rebuilt fairly speedily as well. And we just start to push on up. I mean, with Liberators here now, there's nothing to really fight those. A couple Tempers showing up, I guess, which is something that you're really going to need right now. Having to drop Storms on just a couple units because you can't even get towards the bigger clump. Zoun is in some trouble here as ByuN continues to pressure himself up towards this top side. Another couple Liberators will drop on into place. It's another Disruptor shot that will just land for a single Marine. Again, it feels very difficult to break out of this at the moment. Another Storm, not going to go very far. Another Disruptor shot flying through, hits a Marine, hits a Ghost. ByuN just standing here and fighting. Gold base goes down. I mean, again, maybe ByuN doesn't want to go too quickly into everything, but there's like 2 Disruptors. That's the only scary thing to this bio.
Yeah, I mean, he has like 7 more Liberators coming in right now, and he's not even sieging them up. He could, but I think he's kind of impatient, if I'm being real honest. Like, if you wait for 8 more Vikings, he could clear that topside base for free. We have a Liberator setting up there right now. He's still gonna kind of shove it, and I do believe it's going to be good enough. And this has been a bunch of fairly one-sided fights, to be honest. There was like a plus 3k swing there in favor of ByuN. Like, he's just owning. Like, all these Archons that died, they're so costly, Wardy. They cost so much gas and so much mining time to get that gas. How many have died in this game? Like 12?
Archons, 13, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just something that never really found any value at all. ByuN gets down below 100 supply and this time does not have to pick up and back away. It can just keep on pushing through. The Vikings are showing up to chase down Tempest. We are going to have a game 1 victory here for ByuN sooner rather than later in this qualifying best of 5 series in the Backers Brawl. Probes getting caught between bases now as well. And yeah, ByuN just rallying units up and will get the GG to confirm the victory in this first game.
Wow, well played.
For 2, as we have in the bottom left-hand side, Zoun, the upper right. ByuN, who is up a game. And heading into Ultra Love, which really could not be more of a different map than Neon Violet Square, where this one is a little bit easier to kind of get shorter rush distances on. It's a little bit less defendable for the Protoss, and much more standard versus like Neon Violet Square has that kind of macro element to it, like we will force long games. Ultra Love doesn't have that, but it's pretty standard otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, Ultra Love is just a different map, Wardy, let's face it.
I mean, that is the core concept of my argument. Good summary.
Yeah. What do you think Zoun is doing with that worker? He's probably proxy gating, isn't he?
Yeah, proxy second gate, some pressure on.
Yeah. It's nasty, proxy gate. I almost never see it work. You know, Hero Marine calls this the worst build that a Protoss player can do. Because it's the only opener that doesn't put the Protoss ahead.
The only opener that doesn't put Protoss ahead.
That's a Hero Marine.
Is that just a fact? Like, this never puts Protoss ahead?
Well, no, it can. I mean, it can win the game, but generally, he said, unless the Terran is an idiot, it should never work because you can hold it without scouting as well. With I think every build except maybe Marine into Factory.
Except Marine into Factory.
Yeah. But like double gas Reaper. I'm not saying this is a walk in the park. Maybe it's the walk in the park on like a snowy day, you know? And you're not sure if there's ice underneath the snow. Have you ever had it when you're out in the park in like fall and then it froze overnight and then the leaves are slippery, but you don't think about it because there's ice on top of the leaves, you know? It was wet. And then I used to live in Rotterdam and there was like a park and I would go running there and there was always these leaves and I always was quite careful with them already because I'm afraid of leaves, you know, that you could fall on them. And then one time there's like a serious geese problem in Rotterdam at this park, like hundreds of geese like pooping everywhere.
Right.
And I was like I wanted to walk around a group of like angry looking geese and I stepped on like a pile of leaves and I slipped and the geese, they came at me because they probably thought I was trying to attack. It was like 50 geese or so just moving toward. I don't know what geese noise is, but yeah. It's very serious. It scared the crap out of me. You know when you get like the adrenaline hit when something happens, you know, where your body gets ready to fight? Yeah, that's what happened when the geese attacked me.
And that relates to this game because...
I honestly can't remember. I have no clue where it is. It was connected somehow.
Well, we're going to get through 6 SCVs. We're going to go down 7. We already cancelled the low ground CC. I feel like cancel the CC, then you lose 8 SCVs as well. Like, geez, we are in trouble as ByuN falls heavily behind early. Of course, Zoun doesn't have an expansion yet, so ByuN rebuilding their base on the high ground. It's not all doom and gloom, but yeah, pretty hefty start from Zoun, who can now expand himself and start up the tech structure of the Twilight Council.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, by the way, the Nexus being this late was not like a... It wasn't something that belonged to the build, you know?
Okay.
This was a bug, not a feature. Like he built the Nexus once he had 650 minerals in the bank, and I think he had like half a minute or 45 seconds where he could have built it much faster. Zoun now is going to actually lose a couple more units. It's going to lose 2 Stalkers. Might actually lose both of these Adepts as well. At least he's going to get something for these Adepts. ByuN needs to be careful with them Reapers. Starting a tank as well, okay. ByuN did some nice cleanup here, that's for sure. We're going to need a repair on this Cyclone, because ByuN desperately wants to clear that gateway. That would be a pretty big deal.
Oh, straight to the Dark Shrine here from Zoun. So he's going to double down on the idea of being aggressive and being in your face, rather than kind of making a more solidified army. So as ByuN begins to stabilize, if he cuts a corner and doesn't have preparation for DTs, that could be kind of, you know, very, very costly for him in a moment like this. And more likely to cut a corner when you feel like you're behind than otherwise. So 2 micro well here keeps the Reaper alive. Cyclone locks onto the Adept. That will die too. The push towards that gateway is going to be successful. And that's big because at least the DT warp in now will end up being a slow warp in. And the Cyclone's going to get a Stalker too. Man, Zoun is going to really be in trouble for Yins because he's going to lose another Stalker. But he has 2 Stalkers on the map that just warped in. That's all he's going to have. He loses access to 1 gateway. He needs these DTs to show up big time.
Yeah. Do you think you can warp over the black hole? No, right?
The black hole? What?
Like, can I think?
The blue thing?
No, the red thing. Like, if you have a pylon on the left side, you see where his pylon is? The top pylon?
Oh, okay.
Imagine you put it, like, near the black hole. I don't think you can warp in over, right?
No, there's no way. There's no way. Because the pylon can't get right up against the edge. It would be like...
Yeah, it would be here.
Yeah.
Nah, it's pushing it. Yeah. I think that should be possible. But, like, as in game balance-wise. But I don't think it is possible. It is a good drop, by the way, out of ByuN. This is the type of drop where you look at it and think to yourself, oh, that did nothing, but that's like maybe 100 minerals, 120 minerals in mining time. Oh, there's DTs?
Yeah. DTs came in. And the Raven defends.
Auto turret. Nice.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, making the Raven is... making the Raven and keeping it at home rather than sending it across the map to harass already. Because obviously you could have made the Raven and then just sent it across as so many Terrans do, but He gets a couple workers, he cleans up the DTs, and now you're really stuck as Zoun. Army supply horrific, 4 to 28, and you're building charge as your first real upgrade to kind of improve your army here. It's not ideal.
His position sucks, like really badly. ByuN's gonna come back in once more with this drop. It's gonna cancel the third base. Like, if I'm ByuN here, I think I'm already ordering the pizza for after the series. Like, this was an absolutely terrible game. I don't think ByuN eats a lot of pizza though. He eats. I told you right that he eats a lot of chicken.
Chicken, yeah.
He freaking loves chicken. Like, he'll have 2 meals a day, both of them chicken.
Love it. What kind of chicken? Or does it just not matter?
The what?
What kind of chicken? Or does it not matter?
No, all chicken, he said.
Just all chicken?
Fried, cooked, boiled, soup, stews. As long as there's a chicken in there, he's happy with it.
Isn't chicken like the most boring meat? So basically ByuN's just very boring.
Dude, he loves it though.
He loves variety and boredom.
Yeah. I don't think chicken is that bad. I always kind of like chicken, to be honest.
I like chicken too.
Yeah.
No, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying it's, you know.
It kind of sounded like you were hating on him.
No, I wasn't. I
wasn't
hating. I was just thinking about it. It's just really be like, I like to be like hardcore. Like, I love chicken. It's like the greatest thing of all time. You know, which is what it sounds like.
Yeah, you know, he loves it. Absolutely. Chicken and Coke, but like Coca-Cola, not the white powder. It's weird that has the same name, no?
I guess so. I mean, Coke isn't the official name of it, right? It's like it's officially called Coca-Cola.
Cocaine, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the short name for both of them. So
whoever made weird.
Whoever made the short name for both of them didn't really think about it, I guess.
Yeah, idiots. So I think he's upset about the loss.
Did you hear? I mean, our Twitch chat is educating us on the use of cocaine leaves in Coca-Cola. So there you go.
Interesting.
Funny how Chad seems to be an expert on this topic, but fair enough.
It sounds like a Reddit fact to me. You know what I mean?
A Reddit fact? Yeah, like you see it like on just online somewhere. You say Reddit fact. That's such a boomer word. It's like a TikTok fact nowadays.
Yeah. It's like the same how you have the like, and it probably pops off on like, you know, the That's Interesting subreddit or something like that, where super cool or funny. It will pop on there like every 3 weeks. It's like, did you know that? Or today I learned that cocaine was in Coca-Cola. It's the same with the stupid like the NBA team that plays StarCraft in the plane. Oh, today I learned that the NBA champions from 1998 played StarCraft 1 on the plane, and then there's a picture of them playing StarCraft 1 with one hand in the plane.
Did you know there was a tournament where 5th to 8th place was 25 bitcoins?
Yeah. Oh, there's a second one. That was also good.
Yeah, this one comes up every month at least.
Yeah. Ooh. Reactor first from a double gas opener. This is something, let me tell you. This is really a build and a half. I always wonder how much gas you have to mine when you do this. I think, because usually you pull out 3 out of gas, right, to get a faster CC. But with this particular build, I think you have to mine a bit more gas in order to afford the double Reaper early on. And he's actually doing it. He's doing 3-2 in gas here. Okay, I didn't know this. This is just, you know. It's highly informative here. Sentry first out of Zoun. He's doing it once again with the double gas opener. The thing with playing a double gas opener and then going sentry is that you're already shooting yourself in the foot, you know? So walking is going to be hard. Like, if you allow ByuN to eat the other foot, you're going to be in trouble. So you can't get any damage, basically. Yeah, like you lose like 3 workers here, like it's going to be really, really bad for you because your Nexus is so late compared to what it usually is. You're going to be oversaturated in your main, so you're mining less as well. Now he's going to follow it up with a Twilight Council at 232. So Sentry, Stalker. If I am ByuN here and I see this hallucination, I don't actually know what I do. He canceled the Reaper. You saw that? He had it building, right?
I didn't see.
I think so.
So he was thinking about maybe going 4 Reapers, and now he's decided not to go for it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why is he building 2 batteries?
He's afraid.
Of what?
Of maybe the 4 Reaper 2 Hellion run by? He has a sentry, so I don't really know why he needs one in the main.
Yeah, he could have just stayed downstairs and force fielded it out. He had no workers downstairs yet either. Did not like how he dealt with that. And now he also has double batteries. He's still just working off a single gateway. Dude, I freaking hate this build so much. This gateway is like 35 seconds later than a standard second gateway would be. Look, Warp Gate is finishing up. He's going to be warping in single stalkers at the same time. That's just sad.
Yep. 3 Reapers hopping up, Stalker coming in. Couple Stalkers. Gonna try and chase. We're gonna see 1 Reaper going down. As the blink continues through, the hallucination gets taken out. Starport will swap to the tech lab as well. And there we go. Blink halfway done as ByuN will try and drop across the map.
Cool. Cool. Raven tank. He's playing super standard today. What the hell? I feel like ByuN has these periods where he goes back into like really standard play. Like a marine mine. And then sometimes you have these times where he's going for like 17 marine, 2 tank push outs at like 5 minutes and 84 seconds or whatever he does. I think these weird offbeat timings, but today he's standard Andy.
You're not wrong. He actually really does like have phases that he plays through. You're completely correct in what you say. Like he will play the standard of standard, and then but the next week he'll just be like, no, I'm gonna do completely weird builds. And like I feel like it's the same with sometimes like he proxies in TvZ, and when he starts proxying, he's gonna proxy for like the next week at least once in every best of 3 TvZ he plays. But then he stops and he will not proxy in TvZ for like the next 3 months.
Yeah,
He absolutely lives and dies by these kind of phases that he plays through. Especially in online.
What the hell
games.
is Zoun doing? He's gonna kill that Raven. That's what he's doing. Oof, that's big.
What a catch.
Yeah. Dude, I cried too over here.
Yeah. Feeling sad. Down fans are funny. Beautiful.
I still don't like Zoun's position though. His gateway count is freaking pathetic. He has no counter attack damage. He has no +1. Like, good luck holding a stim combat shield push with this. He still needs to invest in a lot of gateways. He needs to invest in +1. He's on... Okay, he's now on 3 gas, but he doesn't have any follow-up tech. He's only 52 workers. Like, I would want to be on 60 workers here. But he's not.
Nope, he gets a few more on the way now, but taking a little bit. Also throws down the Robo Bay. So as ByuN just kind of commits up on 2 bases right here. Yeah, I think you're right. Zoun's going to have a couple dangerous moments coming through.
Yeah, this is terribly dangerous for him. I mean, his position is not good. We could see a complete 3-0 sweep here. That'd be so sad. I can't believe he didn't let them play the finals, by the way.
There's no need. There's no prize money.
It doesn't matter. Just let them play. More content. Should have made a best of 7 as well.
Make Trigger wait for like a best of 5 to play a completely pointless best of 7. I'm sure you'd love it. Would you be down for that if you'd won?
If I'd won, yeah, I'm already qualified. I'd be happy.
So you'd play the finals just for fun?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna do?
That's because you're the content player, not the playing to win player.
Yeah, but what are they gonna do? Like, it's good practice anyway. Best of 7 against ByuN, yeah. I'd be down for that. Let me do it. This is a nice drop, by the way, here. It's gonna pull back a bunch of Stalkers, a Zealot Warp in as well. ByuN now is gonna hit the front. Combat Shield finishing up in a couple of seconds from here.
It's rough.
I think ByuN doesn't even need to do this because Zoun's eco is so extremely bad. Infantry weapons level 1 hasn't finished up quite yet either. Target fire with the tanks is okay. It's gonna try to get these sentries. It's gonna catch both of them with the last shot. ByuN will have to kite back. Yeah, it's gonna get pushed back. Third base. Oh my god, this third base being built on location.
It's a little bit scary if Zoun does get all the way over. ByuN should have some reinforcements showing up. I think he should be able to get into an okay spot here. Loses a medevac and Zoun's going to stop pushing, so ByuN will get away with that on location 3rd. And yeah, medevac loads up, so that drop is being denied. So we don't kill a base or anything, but at the same time, like you say, does he really need to? Because Zoun's only just ahead on workers, so ByuN's in an okay spot as his own 3rd base comes online. And Zoun's going to be a while still until he has really a reasonable army even, and ByuN's going to start dropping in a bigger way now as well. Triple medevac to the left.
Yeah, I hope he kills both of those stalkers. I don't think he will. Okay, this being spotted is a pretty big deal. Fort base might survive because of that. Do we have any splits coming out of Zoun? Dude, Zoun is playing with fire here. Full army sent into the fort base. Like, he needs to split downstairs. Yeah, there we go. Also needs to still have enough units, though, to defend that fort. So we'll lose a couple of zealots before the fight starts. This is quite bad here for Zoun, as ByuN wants to jump on top of this. Going to kill that one Immortal. Mine's now moving in forward. Double hits here on the zealots. Can we get a pickup? I think we can. At the same time, the bottom side perhaps in a little bit of trouble. There's 3 mines there. It's going to try and retarget. There's 4 mines here, actually. So chasing that with zealots will be hard. Gonna get a recall towards the bottom side, as the 2 medevacs on top do get cleaned up. Good defense out of Zoun here.
Yep, oh, love that. One of mine hits the Immortal in the end, so just get a bit more splash done as you do get away. But yeah, good defense out of Zoun. That was scary because, as you said, there was a couple moments where it felt like he was about to get overwhelmed in a couple of directions, but gets it to be a little bit better for himself. ByuN now going to go open up some rocks, and we get to continue on. So we open up these rocks, we have a bit more access through the middle of the map again, and ByuN, Ghost Academy coming through, getting his first Vikings out as well to start dealing with the Colossus. And this is still just Zoun, who is barely ever ahead on workers. It's just been like, you know, usually you talk about that 10 plus worker lead Protoss getting, it's just such a natural thing. It's just not happened at all in this game.
Yeah, it really hasn't. We're gonna get an army split out of ByuN. These mines are very far forward on the bottom side. I like it. At the same time, there's an army moving towards the top as well. ByuN needs to micro it. And at the same time, this was not a good trade. This was actually not a good trade. For 2 reasons. You're losing a lot of mines, which makes Zealots quite a bit better. And you perhaps give Zoun the opportunity to take some map control soon. Like, if your armies get pushed back completely, something like that can happen. But now ByuN is going to try once more here towards the top side. Ooh, it's a big Terran force here, Wardy.
Yeah, I'm trying to jump the Colossus a little bit, but enough Zealots get in front. So he forced that back again. ByuN constantly kind of coming with different kinds of attacks, splitting his army, sometimes joining together. Makes it difficult for Zoun to always be completely comfortable in what he's going to have to defend next. Now, though, we're going to get some harass on the other side. Prism sets up for the main. Zealot's already ready to hit the third at the same time. It's going to happen in a moment where ByuN is already pulling back, though. So maybe he won't be as effective as it could have been. In fact, ByuN's not just pulling back. He's already in the main base as well. Vikings are going to be there. ByuN meets the Zealots. Perfect shutdown because that Prism will go down as well. And that is huge for giving yourself a safe future.
Yeah. Look, ByuN is already stimming. He knows there was a Zealot run by there. He's like, hey, buddy, I know you're here somewhere. Luckily for Zoun, he pulled back far enough. Zoun at the same time is going to be moving in forward. That is insane game sense out of ByuN, by the way. Really cool. It's now going to catch these Zealots as they try to move back in. There are 4 Vikings against 3 Colossus. I think you need a little bit more than that, usually. Get a blink in forward. Almost kills a Viking. Like, if you get 6 to 8 Vikings out against 3 Colossus, that should be fine. But with 4... it's so easy for you to lose like 2 Vikings and you're dealing no damage anymore, you know? If they go unchecked the entire fight, 4 is a good number, but you lose 1 or 2, it's like even like half before the fight. Like, it's just not a good look. It's just not. Stalker's now forward. Want to snipe a medevac maybe. Bait out an EMP. Neither of those things happen. 5th base on the way here for Zoun. It was 172 supply. It's adding another Prism. 2nd Robo finishes up as well. And his +3 attack is about to finish. Still, his worker count is extremely low here, Wardy.
Yeah, he's got to be careful because a bad fight is going to be pretty rough. ByuN, 4th base on position, going to be caught by a couple Zealots for now, so has to respond to that. While staying in position here, that Observer giving you great vision as Zoun. You know what army is there, you know what's around. So that's been there a while. It's been giving him a lot of info for an extended period at this point. The Prism from the upper left is going to try and come over and join. A little bit of bio that was nearby doesn't catch it, so Prism will get towards the main army. And there's reinforcements there from Zoun on the upper left too. So that's also running past, but not going to be caught on either side. So Disruptor though, looking for a flank, could be a good one. As we fire through, ByuN has to stop. Oh my god, hits every ghost. Wow.
Did you just lose all of his ghosts?
Yeah, every single ghost died to that Disruptor shot. It was like 4. 5 ghosts, 1 Disruptor.
That is not great. GG gets caught. Wow. Look at that. I'm surprised ByuN wanted to chase after that. Because usually you want to engage with the ghost first, right?
Yeah. That's a disgusting Disruptor shot.
That was really something. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of missed it.
You kind of missed it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a typical Wardy move.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it is, but I'll believe you. When you
Yeah,
say
it goes to all on the bottom of the army and hit every single one. Whereas Golden Wall didn't really have like that bonus gold base on the bottom and stuff, so that maybe changed things as well. Whereas now it's very easy to just be like, I can live off the bottom and you're living off the top, cool, and you get like a longer game. Whereas before, if you lived off the bottom, that only took you so far, you know? So
Yeah, it didn't take you very far at all.
Maybe that's a factor. As we get ourselves into game 4 of the series, ByuN still leads 2-1. And we'll have a look to see whether Zoun can keep on bringing this back. Give us a full 5-game series.
Yep. I hope he can. I truly do believe in Zoun. Once again, double gas. Okay, I kind of like this. This is the build that Special always said was very good pre-patch already. I didn't believe in it so much pre-patch. I still don't really believe in it post-patch, but it seems at least to be working somewhat. It makes it really difficult for the Terran to figure out what to do. Although ByuN hasn't really made a conscious effort of trying to scout, right? Like if ByuN just gets the information anyway, then all of that effort is practically wasted. But I mean, if you open up with a Marine, you're not really looking for stuff anyway, I think.
Yeah. As LCC going down. As you get the Zealot on the way, Cybercore coming up, Probe on the way through, Orbital Command building from ByuN. That's ourselves settled in for a few moments.
Are you doing the zooming in, or who is this?
Oh, you're on my camera?
Yeah.
I'm on Indy's camera, but I don't see any zooming in.
Oh, yeah, he just did a fat zoom in on the
Oh,
ramp.
yeah, no, he is zooming in a little bit, actually. Indy, Indy's a very good observer, but sometimes he, like, very randomly, like, zooms in on stuff and then moves somewhere, and, like, some days it's very different observer.
Interesting. Maybe it's someone else someday. They're wearing an Indy suit. Pretending.
And
What do you think the hallucination is gonna give us? Come on, Indy, show us.
I'll show you.
Okay, nice.
Full scout.
Factory, reactor, mine drop. It's just gonna mine drop again. Wait, is this a response? The Stargate?
Don't know.
What do you think they're saying? Oh, why is it so fast?
Yeah.
And Zoun replied, it's a cheat.
Smart. That's really smart. If you just cheat, find out what's going on. Huge.
Yeah.
More people should employ that strategy.
Yes. That's definitely what we need, Wardy. More cheaters. Oh. He's playing Cyclone, though. So it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, ByuN just kind of, you know, he gambled, and he gambled correctly with the Cyclone. I wonder if he's going to actually go for the full-on Marine drop, or if this is bait. It's going to be Phoenix into Twilight. Oh my god, this is a build. I'm not sure what to think of this build, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, we get the, I mean, it's very... I feel like this can really be one of those builds that can hit hard, or then it kind of flops completely. Like, it feels like this is a very all-or-nothing build a lot of the time.
Do you think it will be Charge or Glaives?
I think Charge. But maybe Glaives is a fun call. I didn't even consider it could be Glaives.
Yeah, me neither. But then he warped in 2 Adepts. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird to warp in 2 Adepts at this point, you know? It's kind of...
Feels like a
pudding.
terrible map for Glaives, though.
Yeah, but same for Charge, you know? Like, what are you going to do? Like, run into his wall?
Yeah, but I feel like Charge lets you play a longer game, whereas Glaives you have to attack.
True. True. Oh my god, ByuN's going to low ground CC.
Batman.
Why is he taking a fast third Nexus, though, after... I guess the charge is to clear the tank all in? I think it's too slow for that. What's our gate count? 2? 3. Okay, 3 gateways is kind of reasonable.
It's definitely a little bit of a strange occurrence. Start us off with mine at the front just got taken out, so we clean that up. As we do have the units in general just gathering together, and this watchtower obviously being held Those few Phoenix keep flying about as well. Viking tank Marines continue to produce through from ByuN. Extra barracks on the way in. The Phoenix will look to press forward and see them feeling as though they can take out those Marines, which they can. He's going to get rid of every Marine for nothing. Wow.
That is crazy.
That's a great trade.
That's a free cleanup here. Now there's a lot of pressure on ByuN. Because he pulled the SCVs. But he lost like 6 Marines there. Medevac does stay alive, and I think it saved one of them. Charge finishes up, and here we go. This is going to be an absolute massacre over here. It's game, no?
Yeah, I mean, ByuN put so much into this as well, right? You build the structures here and everything, GG's, and Zoun turns it around, and we're going to go to game 5.
Wow. Wow, what a call. The fast charge.
The 5. In the bottom left-hand side, it will be Zoun. In the upper right, it'll be ByuN. And we have one game to determine this series.
Yeah, one game. Wow. Makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder.
Like, if I'm ByuN, I would just open up with a Reaper. Because then you know what's kicking off. Although last game, even if he had known what was kicking off in the early, he still would have died. Because you go for the tank push and there's charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's such a crazy call to make, Wardy. I can't believe he actually rushed out charge. Like, it's so bad for your economy. I wonder how many minerals it costs you to do that. Like on the resources lost, probes that are not building, like mining that gets delayed, like oversaturation. I think it's huge. It wouldn't surprise me if it's like 500 or 600 minerals that you lose with a Twilight before Nexus. And 3 gate as well, rather than 2 gate. But it was very cool in the end. So it's like, that's a huge risk that you're taking because you're not 100% sure that it's going to happen, you know? You don't know if there's going to be a tank follow-up or if this guy is just kind of hanging out at home and it's going for fast stim in combat. And then all of a sudden you're down like 5-6 zealots for no reason. Like, that sucks.
Mm.
Marine again first. I cannot believe it.
Doesn't care, man.
But this time it's fine though. Or fine, yeah. No, I'm okay with it. It's gonna go for a high ground CC. Because it's Marine into factory here. Oh, he cancelled the Marine. You saw that?
It. Yeah. Trying to pretend it's a Reaper. Chase the probe away.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way Zoun falls for this, does he? He might.
Why wouldn't you?
No, you won't. Actually, you never would fall for this.
Why?
You know why you'd never fall for this? Because you know it's not gas first, because you check the gas count. Mm-hmm. The CC is on the high ground. So, like, only insane people go high ground CC if they play Barracks Gas Reaper. So if Zoun falls for this trick, then you're allowed to flame him a little bit. But he should send this adept right away across the map, like no waiting.
But based
on
he
shouldn't even check if there's a Reaper around.
But based on what you see, do you not also think like, wait, why didn't the Reaper pop out? Why isn't there a Marine here?
Yeah, you look at but it makes no sense to go for a Reaper here. So then I think it's more likely that someone pretends to go Reaper than someone actually playing Reaper with this.
Okay.
You just wouldn't do it.
Fair enough.
It's just silly.
It's kind of interesting.
Also, I don't even understand what it would achieve. Like, even if the Adept stays at home for a little bit, it's not like you have a CC that he can't cancel. Like, who is the mind game for?
Yeah. It's a great question.
I just don't understand it.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe ByuN's just trying to confuse us all.
But that he did.
Oh yeah, he definitely succeeded in
accomplished.
That one. Yeah, good job.
Okay, there's a sentry here. Was this the second or the third unit? It was the third. It was adept, sentry, into blink, into 3 gate. I don't super love this build, if I'm being real honest with you here. I think faster robo builds tend to just be a little bit stronger. Oh, so this looks like a mine drop as long as he doesn't see the Hellions. Oh, he's gonna see one Hellion. He sees one car. That's really awkward. Because if you don't see the car, then it's like, what the hell is this? But now, I think what you do is you make a semi-wall in the natural and keep a sentry there so you can force field it off. Then get all of your stalkers in the main base. That should be the play. So 3 stalkers in the main, like you warp in 2 and 1 should be there. Double adept on the low ground. So that it requires 3 volleys to clear a Hellion with 2 adepts. Okay, he's gonna warp in 1 stalker there. This is kind of awkward, to be honest. This is actually kind of awkward. Okay, here come the cars. I'm not going to commit. You think this pylon will fall?
Yeah, I know. Well, how do you stop it? I mean, a couple Stalkers are going to shoot. Marines don't really care. They have a medevac to protect them, so... Yeah, we got a pylon. That's a little bit annoying, as the Hellions obviously can't do much just yet. I'll linger around, though. Maybe get in the medevac and try and find a different vantage point. Apparently that is the play.
He's also going to get a Raven. So he's like a 2-prong at some point. I really like this, the Hellion, the late Hellion run by. You know what's a cool move here? This sounds stupid, but I think you should fly the Raven into the natural.
To bait all the Stalkers to go kill it?
Yes, but also because you know that the Stalkers are going to be on the side bases. Like, that's a guarantee, because that's where the Raven usually comes from, because sending it across is kind of idiotic. So if you send it like, poof, straight through the middle, then it would be banging. And also the advantage is that indeed you might pull the Stalkers from the main towards the natural, and then you can drop the Hellion. So it's like, it's a risk, but it has an advantage. It would be cool, but I don't mind what ByuN's doing here. Oh, he's just gonna fly through the third base into the main. And it's pulling the Stalkers. Dude, he's a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, Stalkers go, and then the Hellion's going to be in the main base as well. The Marine tank is pushing out at the same time, and all of a sudden Zoun's in a ton of trouble. He's going to lose 5 workers already, and those workers are still stacking. Hellions, can they get the lineup shot? They're going to get to 11 kills. We saved 2 Hellions, and again, the Marine tank is pushing at the same time. So you're down 11 workers. A Raven's going to be able to drop an auto turret here. Flies into the Stalkers, going to drop it anyways. Goes down, but now the tank's siege, and these Stalkers going to blink on top of these siege tanks, but what? Kill one of them. Now we're going to be in a lot of trouble following up from this. As probes are pulling in, there's even more workers going down to build up from before. Charge is not done, so these Zealots are not having a great time. We do clean up the tanks, but the Marines are still here in good numbers. ByuN is 3 times the army supply ahead, and he's back in the main with the Hellions.
This was such a good sequence, man. I said it, the natural was the key here. The Raven in the natural is such a cool move in that case. And let's face it, Zoun handled this as bad as it could have been handled. But he had some units out of position. Like the units that were at his third, they were halfway across the map because he wanted to stop a push from happening. But if there's 2 air threats on the map, I don't think it's actually allowed. Like, you can't just do that. Perhaps he wasn't aware of the Raven, but now, yeah, the game is just over. Dude, this was such nice execution out of ByuN.
Yep, really well done, really well handled. These Zealots still charging through. They're going to eat a Widow Mine shot as well, so we're going to lose another one. And they turn to fight the Widow Mine, which results in the Vile. I actually thought going to get another Zealot, but it doesn't happen. As now the units continue to rally from ByuN, so he's going to get the medevac coming through here, going to lift that up, head down toward the main base, and yeah, onwards we go.
Yeah, I mean, we can pretend here, Wardy. You want to do it? Crazy drop heading into the main base. 1 mine, 1 marauder, 4 marines. At the same time, we have 5 zealots moving across the map. I'm not quite sure if ByuN has enough at home to deal with that. He only has 5 marauders and 6 marines.
No! Whoa! The warping though. He's got a zealot, he's got a stalker, he might be able to live, he's killing the CC, but ByuN is maybe going to clutch the defense. The Immortal shows up in the main, but it's just not good enough.
Wow.
Can't believe he left the game there. Do you think that's an early GG?
That is an early, it's a very early GG. I think he still could have dealt with the threat in the main base, and then, you know, you throw down a Dark Shrine, you hit a